funny. We just had Jessica Curson on. I don't know if you know Jessica.
I do.
And she's so funny, but she was late, and then we started, and she's like, I couldn't get my goddamn ring light working, so I'm just doing it without it. Fuck it.
I think everybody's...
I just moved in. Well, I bought a house a couple of months ago, and then I went to Canada to work. And so I just got back, and my house is empty.
Oh.
So I don't even have a ring light yet. Like, I don't have anything. I don't even have a couch.
I was going to ask about your background. Is that your old living room?
This is a fake living room. That's
I love
in
it.
Somebody's really nice house. I mean, my house is really nice too. My house don't look like this yet. This is, if you see the little bear in the corner.
I see the bear.
It's the Behr paint. You know, Behr paint. They give you all of these like free virtual backgrounds.
Oh, that's cool.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I like that better than people's like Northern Lights or like outer space. I like that you just have someone's nice living room.
Yeah.
Like almost for a minute, I was like, is that a backdrop?
Yeah,
or is that just like where you are?
I believed it. And when you stood up, you straight up disappeared. And I don't think you're a magician, so it was up there. Yeah.
The jig was up.
Can't fool us. What part of Canada were you in?
I was in Vancouver.
That's where we are.
Oh, wow. What part of Vancouver?
We're in a big recording studio because the thing that you're on is our podcast network. So thank you very much for coming.
Okay, thanks for having me.
Of course, but it's also a record label. So we're both music people, and then we've somehow fallen into this comedy thing, and now it's kind of doing its own thing, and we get to meet lovely people like you. So thank you for coming here. Yeah. We're in the soundstage, so we always shoot music videos and stuff in here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But I mean, are you in Burnaby, Coquitlam? Like, where are you?
So downtown Vancouver. So
okay.
Gastown kind of area, if you were there.
Okay. Yeah, I was because I stayed in Yaletown. So
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Love Yaletown.
When I first moved out of my parents' place, I didn't realize that you'd be paying so much stupid rent in Yaletown. So that was where I moved first.
Yeah.
And which is crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
I worked at like a record store. And I was just telling her, I lived between a fire department and the hockey arena. So at no times was my living space quiet whatsoever. It was either like hockey hooligans or fire cars.
I lived by a fire station too this time around.
Oh, really?
I was staying on Homer, and there was a fire station.
That's the one.
I couldn't even understand. I'm like, why do I hear? I grew up in New York. I'm used to sirens.
Yeah.
I was like, this is ridiculous. And then one day the fire alarm went off in my building. I was like, you're right there.
I'm just going to stay in bed.
I just moved as well, really close to the record label as well. But there's like a full on like area where there's just trains, and I live directly above the trains.
Oh, wow.
Like at all hours of the day and night, they're like bashing together. Like at 3 a.m. last night, they just like completely, it's the loudest. It's upsettingly loud.
It's like nails on a chalkboard kind of sounds just every so often.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I hope trains aren't actually bashing together.
I think
that's how they connect them.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, like it's like a train yard.
Yeah. I live like directly above the train yard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm sorry.
When I moved in, I cried. I knew they were going to be there. They warned me about it. It's like, but nothing could have prepared you for trains bashing together.
Yeah. They pulled a fast one on you.
Yeah.
The worst I hear is an ice cream truck drives down, like now back in LA, an ice cream truck drives down, which I haven't heard an ice cream truck in years. I guess I live in a neighborhood now. I was like living in Hollywood. There's no ice cream trucks, but now I'm like in a neighborhood with families and kids, and there's like an ice cream truck. And on Sunday, I hear my neighbors, like they have like an outside football party, and I can just hear it from my bed. Because they're like, my bedroom is like close to their backyard, so I can just hear it, but I don't mind it.
That's all right. Yeah. I got to say, during the pandemic, I found a new appreciation for lawns.
Yeah.
Go sit in a lawn. Go sit in a park. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Patios. Love it. Have you noticed during the pandemic people in your life becoming more extreme versions of themselves?
I have not noticed that, but maybe it's because I'm the person who became an extreme version. Yeah, I think I'm the person. I think everybody, like one friend that I talk to often, he's like, "Oh, did you smoke coke? Did you smoke coke today?" And I'm like, I don't do drugs. I never do drugs. But I guess he was just making fun. Like he was trying to say like, okay, she's like, I was on an extreme high. I would call him like, another one of my friends, I would be on the phone with her and she was like, yo, Zainab, you doing a hot 30-minute set right now. Oh, is this a conversation? I'm sorry.
That friend of yours is lucky because they get to hear your material first.
Yeah. Sneak peek.
It is funny, like when you're in a group of certain comedians and you're like, oh, they're testing material on me right now.
Yeah.
I like that though. I'm like an eager audience.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
give me those premises.
Know that they're testing on you, then we're not doing a good job. If you know that it's coming, we're not doing a good job.
Do you mean like when your friends were like just assumed you're on drugs or something? Is it just because your energy is way higher now all of a sudden? Yeah,
like I found during the pandemic that I would have like spurts. I would be like the first part of the pandemic, I was pretty like even keeled, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I felt very balanced. And then the more and more it went on, I would be extremely high or extremely low.
Yeah.
So it's like you could call me and I'm like, I got jokes, I got information, I got topics, I got everything. Like what you want to, like, I got this conversation. You don't sit back, relax, and I got it. And like then after that call, I would crash. I would be exhausted. Like I just came home from tour,
Yeah. Yeah. I like those kind of conversations where I can put the phone down and just sit back with a drink.
Yeah.
Got this, Zainab. I know. It's funny, like the beginning of the pandemic, I was just coming out of such a busy workflow that I was actually enjoying it. I was like, everyone, I can't, like no comedians can expect me to go to their shows right now. I could just stay home and work on my own thing. This is amazing. And then flash cut to now where I'm just like, bragging about hanging out in the park.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you grew up in New York?
I grew up in New York. I was born in Brooklyn. I grew up in Manhattan, in Harlem specifically.
Do you remember what your last day job was before you started doing stand-up full time?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What'd you do?
My last day job led me to stand-up. Actually, I was the assistant to a manager.
Oh wow!
Oh, cool.
And the manager was my friend.
Yeah.
And he managed comedians, and he fired his assistant, and I was just like in my apartment, window shopping on Net-a-Porter, window shopping.
Yeah.
Thinking like, should I get these Chloe boots or pay my rent? What should I do? These are like the problems of like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, I can relate to this.
No, we still do that with recording equipment. We do that with recording equipment. We were having that talk yesterday. Should I buy this $2,000 interface or put that on my credit card that's ever expanding? So sorry, go on.
No, but buy the recording equipment because at least the recording equipment can materialize into something.
Yes.
Chloe boots do nothing for you, but look good. So he calls me. He's like, hey, I fired my assistant. I need somebody to come in. Can you come in for like a couple of days until I'm able to replace her? And I'm like, how much will it pay? And what do I have to do? He's like, you just got to answer some phones, answer some emails. Like, it's really simple. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was like, how much does it pay? And I was just hoping for him to say the price of the Chloe boots. and he said the price of the Chloe boots. And I was like, yep. I'll be there tomorrow. And that turned into 6 months. And the day that I quit, I went to an open mic. And because I was around working for him, I was around comedy so much. I was booking his show for him, which was every week at the Comedy Store in LA. Mm-hmm. And the day that I quit, I went to an open mic and I became a comedian.
Wow. So that was in LA, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
But before that, I worked at Burke Williams, which is a day spa out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any like nightmare stories from working there at the spa?
I don't have any nightmare stories from working at the spa. Because I don't have any nightmare stories from working at the spa. But I will say this for anybody that's hiring anybody. When we show up, of course, we're showing up our best self. That is not the employee that we are going to be.
You're getting a greatest hits right now.
Yes.
You're getting a highlight reel.
I remember my manager, when I stopped, like she was like, at a spa, they want you to look a certain way. So I couldn't wear like color on my fingernails. I couldn't wear like big jewelry. You can't really express your personality.
Right.
And I would do it anyway. And one day she pulled me in the office to talk to me about it. And she was like, when I interviewed you, and I could tell she felt so like disappointed, like deceived,
Yeah.
How are you not the great person that I met? And I'm like, lady, have you never dated? This is like the dating of the professional world. Of course, I'm not the same as I was in the beginning.
Yeah. Honeymoon is over.
Yes.
Now I wear my jewelry. Yeah, I guess spa technicians kind of got to there's like similar rules as to like hospital workers. Like keep your personality out of this.
Yeah. And
wear
I
this
wasn't
outfit.
even a spa technician. I was just a host.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I was just the person that's like, what time is your, hi, welcome to Can I have your name? Oh, can you have your ID? Do you prefer a locker? Like I was that person.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're like, what song is this? Oh, it's just a Spotify playlist. It's called Aura.
But I worked in like the Hollywood location. So the West
Okay.
Hollywood location. So we would get like a lot of celebrities and stuff. And that would be very interested. This is T that I'll just say.
Love it.
This was like way back when, what's her name? What is her name? Mila Kunis.
Yeah. Look how we're leaning in right now. Yeah. We're so ready for this.
Mila Kunis came to our spa and Macaulay Culkin was handling the bill.
Whoa. Okay.
Interesting.
Home Alone 3.
And I was so surprised that Macaulay Culkin did not tip.
Oh, this is like what Dan Soder said.
Oh,
because Dan Soder was a waiter at a downtown New York place, and he's like, these celebrities come in and they wouldn't tip, and then I hate their movies after that.
I was really, really surprised, and I wasn't expecting a tip. Like I said, I'm just a hostess, but it's customary in service industry, especially when you get a facial, a massage, you tip.
Oh yeah,
Macaulay.
Yeah.
Spending all his money on paints and pizzas. He lives in France now, and he's that's what he does, apparently. Oh, that's so disappointing.
That is so disappointing. How do you not tip good? Like,
even if you're broke, you tip.
Yeah.
Let alone the star of the Home Alone franchise.
I mean, it's like the Home Alone franchise. It was Mila Kunis post that 70s show. I was just like, what is happening here?
Weird.
But I don't think Mila knew. Look at me, Mila. I don't think she knew. And me and like the two other hostess, we were debating in the moment, like, do we tell her that he didn't leave a tip?
She doesn't know he's all over town with her, giving her a bad reputation with people.
I guess not.
I think that was Macaulay's fault. It was Macaulay's fault.
Yeah.
It is. It's not her fault. But, sometimes there's been times where I've been out on dates with guys and I just happen to glance at the tip that they leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're not going to have another date and I'm going to have to come back and give this waiter a tip,
It's so important and it's so telling too.
I love that you go back.
Yeah.
You're like,
I mean, yeah. Like if it's like if it's somewhere where I'm not like flying back to New Mexico to give somebody a tip, But if it's like if I feel like the service was really good, then or like he'll wait outside and I'll run back in, and if I have cash, I'll just drop like extra cash.
Oh, it's so nice.
You try not to do that because you don't want to really like emasculate a man,
Some of them deserve it.
Yeah. But some waiters like
deserves it. Sorry, go on.
Some waiters, it's just like, this is how this is all they have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I went out with someone recently and I was seeing somebody before that was a really good tipper. And I was so used to that. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like leaving with a good feeling.
Yeah.
And then I watched this other person tip 10% and I was just like, I wanted to sink into the floor.
It does feel like you're getting away with something probably
Yeah.
It's
Sounds
weird.
Like stealing.
This restaurant by my apartment I go to all the time, they're always so nice to me, and we always have like a nice rapport. And one time they just took care of the bill, and it shocked me so much that I just was like, thanks, and I just left. And then I was like, oh, I was supposed to like do a good tip there. And so I ran back in and was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm like customary, unless you were wildly terrible. But at that point, we're not even making it to the end.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Or unless you were exceptional, I'm customary 20%. What is 20% of this bill? And I can do the math in my head really quick if it's not. I love it when it's already like written on a receipt for you, but I'm totally customary. I have a friend who is also a comedian. She overtips, and that bothers me.
Really?
Because she overtips because she's a plus size Black woman. So she thinks that everybody thinks she ain't going to tip because she's a plus size Black woman. So she overtips even when the service is bad.
Yeah.
She's like, because they're going to be talking about me. I'm like, if they're talking about you, they're talking about you. No, if you give them we'll be at like, we'll be at like a ice cream place. Yeah. And it's like the ice cream came up to $8 and she'll give them a $20 tip. I'm like, yo, I know what you make. Stop tipping.
Yeah.
$20.
Wow.
Every expedition is just so expensive.
Yeah, she's like, kidding. No, I have to because I'm big and I'm Black and they already thinking something. I'm like, and you are rewarding bad behavior.
Even if the service sucks, I still tip. I have to. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like Catholic guilt or something.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And you don't complain or anything?
It would really take a lot. Like the only time I could think of complaining that in my experience was I have a friend with a peanut allergy and they brought him food with peanuts all over it. And I was like, he could die. And so I asked for the manager. That's the only time I can think of when I was like I wasn't even being a dick. I was just like, he shouldn't have to pay for his meal, I don't think, at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't really complain. I just get out of there and I never come back. I don't know. I'm pretty non-confrontational. Like, will you like say something if the service is bad?
Oh, I'm honest to a fault. Like,
that's good though. People should hear it.
But I don't mean it like, so what I'm trying to do when I speak up is honor myself, right?
Yeah.
And also give them the opportunity to correct it.
Yes.
Yeah. And when given the opportunity, if they correct it, then it's like, well, this was a great experience because sometimes like everybody is entitled to a bad day, a personal day, not knowing, whatever. But it's the way they show up when you bring it to their attention that is the determining factor.
Absolutely.
But like, I don't, when the service is bad, I don't start off with, I want this for free. Like, no, but I do say, hey, this comes with broccoli, right?
Yeah.
Where's the broccoli? And if it's just like, I don't know, then it's I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. We don't have broccoli today. I totally forgot to say that. We have spent, I don't know, fill in the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm considering, maybe I'll order something. Like, it's just easy.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's the right way to do it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. They should be held accountable. They should be professional. I get it. Have you ever had a paranormal experience?
I don't think I've ever had a paranormal experience, but I just recently have gotten over my fear of the dark.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Like,
I was afraid of the dark for 30 years.
What solved it?
Okay, so first, I used to have these dreams about witches, right?
Really?
All the time, dreams about witches. The witch would show up and like be my mother and look exactly like my mother. I don't know. A psychiatrist might say, okay, let's unpack this, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the witch would show up and look exactly like my mother. And in the dream, I would have to choose which one was my real mother.
Oh. And
I never felt like I chose right, although I had hoped to choose right. But before there was ever a consequence, I woke up. But when I was in college, I had studied abroad in London and I saw Wicked.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't scared of witches no more after Wicked.
Something about seeing them be green is like, you're not so bad.
Yeah.
Something about like the backstory just was like, oh, she's not a witch. She's misunderstood.
I'm like, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Give me that green face paint. Yeah.
And now sometimes I don't really watch scary movies because it'll affect my sleep. Like the last scary movie, I don't even know if this is a scary movie, but it affected my sleep. Like 2 years ago, in 2019, when I was in Vancouver again, I saw Us. Jordan was Us.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Could not sleep.
It's a scary movie.
I kept thinking Lupita was staring at me. It's scary Lupita, not beautiful red carpet Lupita.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's scary scrub Lupita.
Yeah.
And I was recently watching, I guess like in 2020, I was trying to watch Lovecraft Country.
Okay.
And have you guys heard of it? Do you know the show?
Yeah.
And there's this one episode where the house is haunted and she basically has to do almost like an exorcism or something.
Yep.
And I couldn't watch it after that. Before, like, that's like the third episode. The first two episodes, I'm on Twitter. Oh, greatest show I've ever seen. This needs Emmys. This needs everything. Now, this is fantastic. Third episode, I saw that, could not sleep for a couple of weeks. I was like, I never saw Lovecraft Country again.
Yeah, it's over. It's too scary. It's funny because I was teasing my girlfriend about still getting scared at movies, and then we watched Midsummer, and it actually was affecting my sleep.
Oh, wow.
So scary.
Have you seen it?
No, and I won't.
Don't see it.
I won't.
Don't do that to yourself. It's so disturbing.
I saw The Ring.
Yeah.
And I had to take sleeping pills to go to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Midsummer is like cult stuff. And that to me is the scariest stuff because I believe it's happening.
Yeah.
When I was like 11, we watched The Grudge at like this like after school thing with like my friends. And two of my friends lived across the road from the school, and my mom had to drive them home across the road because they were so scared.
Too scary to go walk across the street by themselves.
I could not sleep after that.
Yeah, I don't like supernatural stuff or paranormal stuff. Like if it's just a killer in the street, like Jason, like I firmly believe even in the woods on a campground, I can outrun Jason. Like I firmly believe that. I didn't like way back in the day when we were tiny kids, I didn't like Freddy Krueger, because that still, as much as it's not like The Grudge or, it still was like, well, I have to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to avoid him. He gets you in your sleep. I have to go to sleep. And that used to just bother me.
I was so afraid of that when I was a little kid that I lost sleep. And then I met him at a fan expo and he was following us around hanging out and so chatty that we couldn't leave. So now I'm afraid of him for a different reason.
What?
He's very flirty.
Oh my God.
He was also not interested in the beautiful ladies I was with. He's like, Kevin, what do you know about Korean horror cinema? I was like, get me out of here. Wake me up. All right, Zainab. Well, thank you so much for coming on. That was really fun. It is short. It's like part of this big festival where it's like 15, 20-minute interviews. So
okay, well, thank you so much for having me.
Really appreciate it. And awesome. I hope you come back to Vancouver soon.
Me too. If I come back to Vancouver, that means we got another season. So that would be great.
Yeah. Come visit us.
Yes, I will. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a good day.
Very nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye.